Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over belts. Now, belts may not be that important for a lot of folks out there, but for most folks who subscribe to this channel, they're probably pretty important because most of you probably carry a gun on a relatively frequent basis, whether that be every day or when you go to the range or anything like that. That said, a good belt's important even if you don't carry a gun. So we have a few different options here from Core Essentials, and really the big sort of standout feature of these belts that separates it from everything else out there is the way that the belts themselves actually adjust in terms of size. So it's very cool. I've actually seen these. I saw these at NRA, I think in like 2017, and I was intrigued by them. I got one in, and since then have gotten two more in. So we're doing a review on them, but it's a very cool system. It's a ratcheting type system. Let me be quiet and let the mic pick it up. So every time it goes a quarter of an inch, it locks into place, and I'm not sure how much weight. I think their quoted weight is it would take over 800 pounds of force to actually get it to fail. That said, I would guess it's actually more than that in reality because it's a super well-engineered lockup system. And basically what we have here, the nylon ones that I have here are gun belts. They also make non-gun belts. I have a leather version of that. They also make leather gun belts, but their gun belts are, as they say, 2 times more rigid than their non-gun belts. Generally speaking, they're going to run about $10 more, but the same system is in place for both, so we'll get into that coming up next. I touched on the ratcheting system, however, I kind of want to get into it in a little bit more detail so it'll make sense to you guys. So if you order a nylon belt like we have here, these come one size fits all, and you actually fit it to yourself, which we'll talk about here in just a second. If you order a gun belt, there's 2 different size ranges there. But if you get it in, or when you get it in rather, what you're going to have is a belt that you need to cut. And the actual buckle itself is, this thing's sliding off. The actual buckle itself is something that you can pick as well. So it's not like this belt comes with this buckle. You actually pick each. So you pick the belt and then you pick the buckle. But anyway, so what it's going to come as is this piece here is going to be like out to here. So you actually have to size it to where you're at and where your waist is. So it goes from 28 down here all the way up to, I think, 54. So you cut it with whatever your waist is at that point, and then you stick it into the belt buckle here. And I would take this off. However, most of you guys who watch this channel know that I Loctite everything, so kind of don't want to do it at this point. But this piece here, this little flapper, will be open, and then you stick it in there, you close it, test fit it, make sure it actually fits you somewhat correctly, because of course you do have a good bit of adjustment here, but make sure it fits you. And then at that point, you're going to actually take these little set screws there, and it comes with an Allen wrench, and just tighten those down so that way there's just no way it's going to come off, because this piece here, which is steel, it bites into it with kind of like some teeth into the cloth, and then when you actually tighten those screws down, I mean, this thing is strong, guys. It ain't going anywhere. But it's a very cool system, and I really like the fact that you can just size it yourself and you just have tons of adjustment here. I would imagine that's probably about 11 inches of adjustment, maybe 12, and very good system overall. Definitely like the design of it. On the actual fabric belts, what you're going to see here is you'll see some reinforced stitching where, if the camera will focus, you'll see that reinforced stitching there, and on the back side you have those little teeth there, and that's what's holding that piece in place. Now on the gun belts, it actually has a piece, they don't say what it is, but I would imagine it's some sort of Kydex or polymer on the inside that gives you more rigidity. You can bend it just fine this way, but trying to bend it vertically, they say it takes over 8 pounds of pressure to move it at all. I don't doubt that. So really, there's not a lot of guys that probably carry 8 pounds of gear on their belt. If that's you, well, then kudos to you, and you know, I'm sure you're a janitor, and that's awesome. We need good janitors out there, but I can't think of anyone else that carries more than that much weight on their belt that isn't a police officer, and at that point you're wearing a different type of belt. In terms of keeping the little tab here down, they do come with these little retention pieces here, and unlike some companies that have sort of like a bungee type of product, this one you can take on and off without having to completely pull it separate, like out the front of the belt. Just like the gun belts, our dress belts are going to have the same exact locking system like we talked about, the same exact attachment system that we talked about, and the same adjustment system when you actually get it in to cut and have it lock in where you need it to. Now, Of course, the edges are a little bit nicer because of leather. And like I said, the leather comes in 2 different sizes. And one thing to point out, again, these ones are not as rigid. They don't have the same type of strength because they're not built for it. But these ones in general, the dress belts are going to come in right around $49, whereas the gun belts are generally going to be right around $59. Now, there may be exceptions to that, and the only exception I saw just kind of perusing around the site earlier was some of the buckles are much more expensive. The titanium ones add a good bit of cost because titanium is not cheap. And with the dress belts, they have a little bit more like flashier options. Not that this is super flashy, but it's just like a brushed steel. Looks nice, and it absolutely could go in any type of outfit. You could wear this with a suit just fine. You could wear it with jeans just fine. It would fit either way. And of course, as you can imagine, they have lots of different colors and types of leather and all that sorts of stuff over there. This is the one I picked, and again, we've had no issues with it at all. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the things are pretty strong. They're rated for a pretty high amount of weight. Right now, we're just hanging a 50-pound kettlebell on there. Nothing exceptional, but I totally expect it to pass that. But what I'm going to do now is pick it up a little bit and have a bunch of weight come down on it at once. And we'll see how it does. Again, that's a 50-pound kettlebell. It's not lightweight. We'll pick it up a few inches and just see that impact of all the weight at once hitting that ratchet system. We'll see how it does. So that's probably, I'd say, 5-6 inches from where it was. Pretty good. Those of you who have watched any belt reviews here in the past, you guys know that the thing I really like about different belts, number one, of course, is strength. That's a given, but it's the attachment system. That's really what I like. Anything that's quick. I hate having to fumble with stuff and pull something out of a loop and then loop something else out. It just kind of drives me nuts. Not that like it really matters in the grand scheme of things. However, simplicity is nice, speed is nice, and I'll take it anywhere in my life that I can get it. And these ones definitely offer that. I think we pretty much covered everything on the belts that we can here today. It's not a simple product. It's an interesting product and has good innovation to it, but it doesn't require a 30-minute video either, at least not in my opinion. The only kind of wear that I've noticed is both of our gun belts here where I've been carrying belts. We have kind of a kink in it. I tend to carry at the 3 or 4 o'clock position, as you guys can see, because we have the kink here in this one as well, at the 3 and 4 o'clock position. But it's not something that you would ever notice when you're wearing it. You can't feel it or anything like that. It's just a natural wear pattern of something having weight attached to it for long periods of time. So that's it, guys. I've been very happy with them. No complaints at all. Recommend them. There, of course, will be links down below in the video description. If you guys have questions about the belts that we didn't cover here today, by all means, you can post down below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as well. That's the best place to get in touch with me. If you actually need an answer, shoot me a message. I get back to everyone over there on Facebook. However, other places that I post videos, I don't always see all of the comments. Just is what it is. And yeah, that's it. That's the way to reach me if you need me. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel and you like these types of videos, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed and you're not seeing 3 videos-ish a week, go ahead and hit that notification bell to make sure that you guys are getting notified every time I put a video up and make it public. If you've already done that and you're still not seeing them because YouTube likes to not show people my videos these days, is what it is. If that's you, make sure you sign up for my email list. You can sign up over at Facebook, like I just mentioned, under the sign up tab, and you can also sign up at Mr. Guns and Gear under the sign up tab, right? Makes sense. And I send out one email a week with all the videos of the week, and then we also send out about 3 or 4 deals that we find along the way to help you guys save some money. If there's any coupon codes or flash sales on these belts, I will make sure to include that into that week's email so that way you guys can save. But otherwise, I think they're pretty reasonably priced anyway. That's it for real this time. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next video.